Hey everybody, welcome back. I hope you're ready for a new, exciting, fun lesson. Today, we're going to learn how to use the bow. Let's get started. First, let's learn about the different parts of the bow. So this brown part here is going to be called the stick of the bow. Next, the white, or sometimes it can be gray or brown part, is going to be called the hair of the bow. It's really important that we don't touch the hair of the bow, because that's what is going to grip onto our strings, and we want to keep it nice and sticky. Next, we'll move on to the tip of the bow. That is the pointed part at the top on this side. We want to be really careful not to get too close to anybody, poke anybody. We don't want to do that. We want to stay nice and safe. Next, we move on to the frog of the bow. That is this bottom part here, close to where we're going to hold the bow, which is what we're going to get into next. Let's go. In order to hold our bow, we first need to learn how to hold our hand. So how we're going to demonstrate this is by using a marker. So grab a marker or a pen or something that you have laying around that you can make two little dots on your hand with. The first one, we want to make in this little knuckle in our middle finger on our right hand. See my little dot? So there's one, and then the next one is going to go in the top right hand corner of our right hand. So right about here on our thumb. See my two dots? Perfect. Now we're just about ready to begin. Once your pen or marker is dried, now we're going to put those two dots together on our hand, just like this. They might be a little bit to the side. It's going to look a little bit like this. And you can flip it over so you can see it, and then flip it back over. It's going to be nice and loose, just like that. Awesome. Now we're on to our next step. For our next step, I want you to wiggle your right hand and make it super loose, kind of just like this. Wiggle it all around nice and floppy, right? Perfect. So now we're going to pick up a pencil, or that pen that we had a little bit before, and we're going to flop our hand on top of that pencil, connecting those two dots again with the pencil or pen in the middle, kind of just like this. And we want to wrap all of our other fingers over nice and loose. Awesome job, perfect. Now I have a little song for us to learn some bow control and a couple exercises. We're first going to learn it with our pencil, and then we're going to learn it with our bow. I'll sing it to you and you can follow along right with me. Ready? Up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train, round and round like the great big sun, land on your hand, curve, pinky, bend, thumb, up like a rocket, down like the rain, back and forth like a choo-choo train. Awesome job following along. Once you feel like you have a handle with that, and you feel like you can hold your pencil nice and tight, not too tight though. Once you feel you have a handle on that, now let's transition over to our bow. Let's go. So I want us to pick up our bow in our left hand and hold it just like this by the brown part. Do you remember what that was called? That's right, the stick. Awesome job. So now we're going to do the same thing we did with our pencil, but now just with the stick of the bow at the bottom. Do you know what the bottom is called? The frog. That's right, you are so smart. So we're going to put that black dot on our middle finger on the stick, and then we're going to put our thumb a little bit through the bow, kind of like this. Exactly. This rubbery part of the bow on the stick is called the grip of the bow. That is where we're going to rest our fingers over top of. It'll be our first two fingers, our index finger and our middle finger will kind of rest on that. And then our other two fingers will rest on the end of the stick right before the screw. This part here is called the screw. And then our ring finger will rest somewhere above this black part right here, also right above this circle. When we're holding our bow, we want to have a nice relaxed grip with all of our fingers kind of like flopped over the side of it, all in contact. Your first two fingers here may end up touching the hair of the bow, and that's okay for now. We want these fingers to be curved. We want this one, especially our baby finger, our pinky finger, to be curved. We don't want that one to be bent at any sort of weird angles. We want that one to be bent nice and gently like this. Same with the thumb. We want the thumb to be nice and bent as such. Now let's transition on over to our violin. When we're using our bow on our violin, it's really important to keep our bow parallel to our bridge. So that means when we're bowing, we want our bow to be running in a straight line with our bridge. Remember the bridge, this wooden part that goes across the violin? We want it to be a straight line and a straight pull across. Just like that, and same the other direction. Exactly! When using our bow to play on our violin, we're going to notice very quickly that when we press very hard on our violin, so down like this, we're going to get a really scratchy sound. That means that we're pressing too hard. But if we're pressing too light, we're going to get this really airy sound, kind of like that. But what we want is just in the middle. And get that nice sound all the way through. Exactly. Another thing, when we're bowing, we always want to bow between our fingerboard and our bridge. Unlike pizzicato, where we pizzicato up here and pluck up here, with bowing, we want to be in between these two, just like here. Now that we know how to hold our bow, let's transfer it on over to the violin, right? So, do you remember that song that we learned last time? Do you remember the name of it? That's right, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. We can play that now with bow instead of just pizzicato. Now that we can use our bow so well, let's play a song. We're going to play the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star theme, the same one that we've learned the past two lessons, but now we're going to use our bow instead of our pizzicato using our finger. So if we look at the sheet music that I have on the screen here, you'll notice that that first note has this table-looking object on it. Do you see that? Right, so that indicates to us that we need a down bow. So a down bow means we're going to go in this direction, closer to the ground. So you can call it down, or like down closer to the ground. And another way to think about it is see how it kind of looks like this, if we kind of like draw it in the air here. This frog of our bow also kind of looks like that. Isn't that cool, right? Next, you'll see this V shape, right? So you could say that looks like the tip of our bow, or an up bow. So if we pull down for our down bow, how do you think our up bow is going to look? Right, exactly, we're going to push up towards the sky. When we're bowing, unless it's written otherwise, we're always going to alternate bowings, always starting on a down bow. So that means for this first line of Twinkle Twinkle, our bowing is going to be down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow for that half note, and then up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow, down bow, up bow. Does that kind of make sense? How we're going to alternate each bowing? Another rule of thumb to stick by is at the beginning of every line, we usually want to be on a down bow. Can we play the first measure together, alternating bowings? Ready? I'll play it first and you play it after me. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, your turn. Awesome job! Now let's hear you play that whole line. I'll play it with you. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. Awesome, you're a third of the way there. You're so smart, I think you can figure out the last two lines by yourself. So if you want, pause this video now and figure out how to play those last two lines using alternating bowing. Awesome, got it all figured out now? Now let's play it together. The whole thing. Your first song all the way bowed. This is so exciting. I'm so happy for you. Ready? 1, 2, ready, play. sure you already sound much better than I do. Keep up the good work and keep up the good practice. Maybe this week it'd be a good idea if you went all the way through Twinkle Twinkle using alternating bowing and then go back and play it all pizzicato. See which one you like better. Maybe you like pizzicato better. That's awesome. Pizzicato is super fun, but so is bowing. Get used to them both because they're so cool together. Next week, we'll work on using our bow a little bit more, maybe even learn a new song. I can't wait to see you.